Hey guys, and welcome to Petrol Ped and welcome to this week's Midweek 180. First up, sorry I didn't do a Midweek 180 last week. I was in Munich with Tracy for her birthday and I just wanted a bit of time away, didn't have time to film them. But we're back to business this week. But I wonder if this week's can be as successful as the previous two Midweek 180s, which have both done 17,000 views, which is pretty much a record. Somehow I'm not so sure we're going to get that kind of number this week, but let's give it a go. I'll get the housekeeping out the way first. Leader of the pack on the last Midweek 180 was Michael Kember. Well done, mate. Joined in the Magnificent Seven by Paul Mead, Malcolm Brew, Leanne Jackson, Stephen Spink, Gary Matthews and Owen MacDonald. So whoever puts the first comment this week, you'll be my leader of the pack next week, and the first 7 comments will be in my Magnificent Seven. Now, F1 is back after the break this coming weekend for the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort. I am mildly excited about Formula One coming back. It's always as a Formula One fan, I always miss it in the summer break. Second half of the season, I just think is going to be really, really exciting. Let's see if the McLaren boys can carry on taking the fight to the Red Bulls, see if the Mercedes team have improved. And it would be really nice for someone to beat Max Verstappen at his home Grand Prix, because that would really wind him up, I reckon. Now then, I literally just got back on Sunday. We were away all last week on a bit of a road trip in the new LCI BMW M4 competition convertible. There is a video coming to the channel on Friday. I'll tell you more about that a bit later, but an amazing trip. I really got to grips with the car, and then I arrived back on Sunday, and then on Monday drove it up to Worcester because I was with Hyundai for Monday and Tuesday on the first press drives of the new Hyundai Santa Fe. Now that's under embargo. That video will be coming out next week. But yeah, sadly the M4 went back this morning, but lots of new cars kind of coming out over the last week or so. M3 Touring, we finally see shots of that without camo on. That looks like a mighty capable car. I hope to get my hands on it at some point. Having just spent a week in an M4, I can only imagine what that M3 Touring is going to be like, because I'm sure it's absolutely superb. And then the Facelift Audi RS3. Now, the reason I love that car is it warmed the cockles of my heart to see they're still making it. We've had to say goodbye to so many amazing internal combustion engine cars over the last couple of years, I guess. For Audi still to be making the RS3 at the moment, I'm sure it's short-lived, but let's see. I'm sure that's going to be a mega car, because the pre-facelift one was just superb. And then I also saw an interesting press release this morning. Mini are going to be announcing the full details of their JCW lineup in the autumn, which, let's face it, we're at the end of the summer. That's not going to be too far away. But what they have said is the new Mini F66 JCW will be a petrol version and an EV version. So there's going to be 2 JCWs, a petrol one and a full battery electric one. So that should be quite interesting. I would love to do a back-to-back test on those 2. Loads of news coming out of Monterey Car Week over the last week. I've never been to Monterey before, and every time it's on and I see people I know, Pat from the podcast was out there with my mate Roger doing some video and stills work for a client, and I was watching with envious eyes their social coverage, because it just looks phenomenal. So maybe next year I'll get the right kind of invites, or we'll get out to Monterey, because I would love to experience it one day. But one of the cars that was released out there is the new Lamborghini Temerario. I think that's how you say it, not quite sure. Temerario apparently in Italian means reckless. And when you look at the numbers of the new Lamborghini Temerario, it's got a V8, so it's the successor or the replacement vehicle to the Huracan, which is V10. So it's interesting they've gone turbo V8 hybrid, 907 horsepower, oh my days, 10,000 RPM redline. With an 8-speed flappy paddle. The reason, I'm not the world's biggest Lamborghini fan, but for me, I quite liked it to look at, because it's Lamborghini, but it's not got the bits of Lamborghini I'm not that fond on. It actually looks quite classy and quite kind of Ferrari-esque from some from some angles. So I think that's going to be a really interesting car in terms of taking the fight to Ferrari for that particular sector of, you know, mid-engined supercars. But it does look mega, that's for sure. And then the last few things, I'm actually going to Carfest this week on Friday. So if any one of you is at Carfest on Friday, keep an eye out. I'll be there with Tracy. I'm going there with Michelin just to have a look round. I've never been before. I can't believe I've never actually been, because Carfest's been around a long time. So we're only there on the Friday. So if you are there and you see us, come and say hi. And then Dream Garage build is coming along at pace. Clearly we were away all last week. So when we came home, the boys have made a lot of progress. So the next episode of that, I might put that out next week, maybe on Monday. I'm going to see how they're going to get on by the end of this week. If there's sufficient change and sufficient progress since the last episode, I'll put an episode of the Dream Garage build. But that's just been such a popular video series. One video I do want to mention as we draw this one to a close is the recent video I did at Myra with Michelin, where we talked about whether you put new tyres, you change them in pairs, whether you put those on the front axle or the rear axle. And I stated that you should always put them on the rear axle, irrespective of whether the car's front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive. And we did a test on a low grip circle. And loads of people have said, yeah, but what about wet braking? Now, the simple answer is it makes no difference. You still want the new tyres on the rear, even for wet braking. And so many people disagree with me with answering the comments. We're actually organising to go back to Myra with Michelin, just me, just to run that test. So we're going to go back and do wet weather braking comparison between having new tyres on the front or on the rear of the car. So that is in the pipeline. I was literally talking to Michelin about it this morning, so hopefully we can get that video out there, because I'm sure people will be interested to see the results, and I'm sure plenty of you will have something to say in the comments section, but that's all good. And then last but not least, this Friday's video is my road trip video. Myself and Tracy took the M4 convertible we started off in England, obviously. We drove through France to Reims. We then went to Munich. We saw Adele in concert in Munich and got very, very wet. We then went from Germany through Austria into Switzerland. We went to Lucerne and Grindelwald. And between Lucerne and Grindelwald is the St. Gothard Pass and the Furka Pass, which were just unbelievable. And then we came back home from Grindelwald back through France. I had the car for just over a week. I did 2,000 miles in it, and that video it's in the edit. It's a bit of a monster edit, if I'm honest. So hopefully I'll get that done by Friday. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed that one. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Petrol Ped for plenty more content to come. And I'll see you on the next film. You take care, guys. Drive safe.